Thank you so much for coming to talk to me today.
Thank you.
For those who don't know, could you let us know a little bit about the film?
Sure. The film is called -1287, and it's about a woman with breast cancer.
And so, what was it that inspired you to take up this project?
Well, I think all of my films are pretty personal, and this film is also about a friend of mine. So it was something that I did when I found out that my friend had breast cancer.
And so, using such a personal subject, how was the filming the process? It must have been a very emotional process as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But I actually think that it gave us something to do together. And so sometimes when you have a friend who's sick and you visit them in the hospital, there's not really very much you can do. You just sort of just talk about the weather, or you pretend like something's not happening. But this gave us something to do together and to create this film together, and it kind of focused our conversation. So I think I certainly found it very healing, and I hope that she did as well.
So what was it about the events that were happening that made you think this is something people should be able to see? What were you trying to show?
So it's about my friend Kazuko, and we would meet every week for coffee and talk about different things. But as soon as she found out that her breast cancer, which she had had 10 years earlier, was back, everything she talked about, her husband, her children, life, marriage, it just suddenly changed, the way that she talked about those things. And I felt like it was something that was important to record.
And would you say that, was that a sort of instantaneous change, or is there a process of how you see the world that changes when you find out something like that?
I mean, it certainly was a process, but I think the change was instantaneous. And then from that point, it gradually increased or gradually changed or shifted. But yes, I noticed as soon as she found out that the cancer was back and that it was spreading, there was an immediate change, which then progressed.
So what would it you would say you want sort of audiences to learn or experience whilst watching the film?
Well, this is going to be an interesting experience for me because it's the first time that the film will be screened publicly. It's the world premiere. But what I hope is that people will think about Kazuko, will think about her life, but I also think that that it will give us something to think about in our own lives and our own families. So maybe people will think about her for 5 minutes, but then after that they'll start thinking about their own lives and about what's really important in life.
And so how's it been being part of the Raindance Festival this year?
I arrived yesterday, so it's just kind of begun for me. It's really exciting to be here again for the second year in a row. I think I feel a little bit more like you know what's going on because you've kind of been here once before. But it's really exciting, a lot of great films on. I'm looking forward to doing my screenings, but also attending other screenings as well. And
was your first sort of experience of Raindance last year, and how was that, and what was it that attracted you? How did you get involved? I mean,
Raindance was it's the biggest festival that one of my films has been in. Gosh, how do you answer that question? It's been great. It's a wonderful experience, and it not only is being at Raindance wonderful, but it opens up doors to move beyond Raindance as well.
And so, where are you taking the film from here? What are you hoping to sort of go on to?
We're next going to be in Taiwan in the Taipei International Documentary Film Festival. And then we'll see what happens. We've got a few more kind of submissions out there and kind of putting together a tour right now. But basically for me, I hope that we can get as many people to see the film as possible. And that's really my goal. Some people come to a festival to try to get distribution, to try to make some money, to try to make deals, to get funding for their next film. For me, it's about getting as many people as possible to see this film.